Welcome to Bible Study with Fred. I'm in 1 Peter 3, verses 21 and 22. The like figure whereunto even baptism doth now save us, not the putting away of the filth of the flesh, but the answer of a good conscience toward God. By the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who is gone into heaven, and is on the right hand of God, angels and authorities and powers being made subject unto him. Now here's an example of typology, where one thing is used as a type or kind of another by comparison. Some people have confused verse 21, thinking that baptism actually saved you, which is foolishness. When you're married, you don't just decide to marry your spouse at the wedding ceremony. That's an outward expression before your friends and family of an inward decision that was made at some point previous. The wedding ceremony only lends public credibility to a commitment that was already made. So it is not at your baptism that you decided to follow Christ, as that decision and your salvation was already made previous. Here, baptism is a figure or type of the ark that Noah and his family sailed in through the waters of the great flood. Peter makes it clear that it is not getting dunked that saved these Christians and us, but in their answer to God's call by way of a good conscience toward him through Christ's resurrection. Getting in the ark was an expression of their obedience to God, as answering God's call to salvation is a step toward righteousness. But as the ark carried them after God himself closed the door, it is Christ's righteousness we depend on in God's salvation. It is not something we do ourselves. We are not saved, nor are we kept safe by our own works. John 1:12. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name, which were born not of blood, nor the will of the flesh, nor the will of man, but of God. Christ, the visible image of the invisible God, is in heaven with God the Father, and has all power over the physical and spiritual worlds. Matthew 28:18. And Jesus came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. This is very important for us to understand. Job, thought by most conservative Christians to be the book that was penned even earlier than Moses' writings, tell us that nothing happens without God's direction or permission. It also tells us that bad things can happen even to the most righteous, and they may never know why on this earth. God may not deliver you in this flesh, but we are to trust him and believe him that he has it all under control. This is the essence of Job's lesson for us. Christ has all power. Not one function of one tiny part of one cell continues without his will, and not one dying star explodes in a far-off galaxy without his will. Not one clod of dirt in a farmer's field unites with the dust, from the dust, without his will. You cannot walk across the room, and your heart does not beat without his will. When you are told you had cancer or your child died in a car accident, it wasn't that God was somewhere else, not paying attention, or hates you suddenly because you didn't go to church enough. You may not even know the reason for God letting it happen, and may never know the reason in this life. You, Christian, just need to learn to trust God. Christ has all power over everything. He loves you enough. He loved you enough to die for you, be raised from the dead, so that you too can know that death is not the end and life awaits you that you cannot even understand. Just trust him. That, not forbearing alcohol, fornication, or lying, is the toughest part of being a Christian. The toughest part of being a Christian is loving and trusting your Creator. Now, I'm going to stop there, pick it up in chapter 4 next. Please read your Bible, study your Bible, cross-reference the verses, and pray to God for wisdom and understanding, and then share your interpretation with someone else. Open the Bible and let God speak to you through his word today. Now, I don't have these self-published, but you can, if you want to print them out, you can get them on blogger.com. But if you've watched the video this far, please click like and subscribe or follow, and that helps me reach more people. And I really thank you for paying attention.